In this video on trigonometry, on trig ratios, I want to show you how to find a ratio when you're given one. So when you're given one ratio, how do you find another? So for example, you might be given a sine ratio and you're asked for a cos ratio. So here's an example. Example 1, if the sine of theta, some angle theta, if the sine of some angle theta is 3/5, we want to find cos theta. So we need to figure out what cos theta would equal. How we approach a question like this is, whenever we're given a ratio is equal to a fraction, what we do is we remember SOHCAHTOA first of all, SOHCAHTOA, and we notice we're dealing with sine here. So sine is O over H. So what we do is we're going to draw a rough triangle. We're going to draw our own triangle, a right angle triangle, just a sketch. And I'm going to mark this as theta. And if that's theta, well then this here would be the opposite. This is the hypotenuse and this is the adjacent. But in our sum here, we're going to set the opposite as the number 3. And we're going to set the hypotenuse as 5. And the A number is a mystery. What we do is we use Pythagoras Theorem. We now use Pythagoras' theorem to get our third side. So we know that Pythagoras' theorem says h squared is equal to o squared plus a squared. So what we do is we sum in our numbers. Now please note that the hypotenuse here is 5. It's not our mystery letter, which I call x. We call it x. Notice h is 5. So we got 5 squared here is equal to my opposite, which is 3 squared, plus my adjacent, which is x squared. And you get 25 equals 9 plus x squared. Now, we want to get x squared on its own. So to get rid of an add 9, we bring it over to the other side and take it away. So it's going to be 25 take away 9, take away 9. So 25 take away 9 is 16. 16. So you got 16 is equal to x squared, or you can say x squared is equal to 16. And then finally, x will be the square root of 16, which works out to be a nice number, 4. So I figured out that my third side is 4, and I'm just going to mark that in here, 4. So we know the hypotenuse is 5, the opposite is 3, and the adjacent is 4. Now back to our original question. We're asked to find out what cos theta is. Well, cos theta, using SOHCAHTOA, is A over H. So I'm going to put A over H. So cos theta that I'm looking for is my A number, which I've just worked out to be 4, over my hypotenuse number, which is 5. So the answer is cos theta is 4/5. So just to recap, we were given sine theta was 3/5 at the beginning, and then using our own right angle triangle, filling it in, labeling it, using Pythagoras' theorem to get the third side, then we were able to find the other ratio, cos theta. If the question had have asked for tan theta, well, tan would be O over A, so it would be 3/4. Here's a second example. If tan theta is equal to 1 over the square root of 3, find sine theta and cos theta. So they want the two of these other ones. Now, tan theta is given. SOHCAHTOA. Tan is O over A. So I know that 1 over root 3 is O over A. So I'm going to draw a right angle triangle. It doesn't have to be accurate, it's just a rough picture. I'm going to call this theta. If that's theta, this is O, this is H, and this is A. And I'm going to fill in the numbers that I know. I know that the opposite is 1. I know the adjacent is root 3. And H is the mystery that I don't know. So I'm going to call that X. I now use Pythagoras' theorem. Pythagoras' theorem says h squared is o squared plus a squared. When I do that, notice this time the h is the mystery letter. So instead of h squared, it's x squared. And o is 1, so it's 1 squared. And a is root 3 in a bracket to be squared. So x squared becomes 1 plus, and if you square a square root 3, you get 3. If in doubt, type it into your calculator. So I get x squared is 1 plus 3 is 4. And x will be the square root of 4, which works out to be a 2. So I know my x is 2, which means that my hypotenuse is 2. Now, the last part of the question is very easy. I just need to find sine theta and cos theta. Well, sine theta from SOHCAHTOA is O over H. And that's going to be, my O is 1 and my H is 2. So my answer is a half. And my other answer is cos theta is, well, SOHCAHTOA, cos is A over H. So it's A over H, which in this case, my A is root 3 over, and my H number is 2. So these are my answers. Look over these two examples and practice similar ones in your textbook.